Evicted, homeless, and living on the streets. Tonight, KARE 11 investigates the impact of Minnesota's fraud crisis on the innocent victims, betrayed by the very system that was supposed to give them care. Here's AJ Legault with the latest in his continuing investigation, Housing Hustle.
Minnesota.
Winter in our city is unforgiving.
And I don't know where my boots are.
Snow-packed streets and cold that punishes.
My eyes.
You wouldn't know it though.
Yeah.
To meet Janelle Hansen. She goes by the nickname Sky and is through no fault of her own homeless.
I suppose I'm coming up on 6 months.
It's now actually been 8 months. Sky allowed KARE 11 to document her journey.
It's really annoying to live in your car. It is so annoying.
Depending on the weather,
I was so cold and so tired.
we found her staying in tents.
And I was cold. I was cold while I was sleeping.
It's not always easy to find a place inside to lay her head. If she can find an open bed, she stays in shelters. When she has the money,
Hey, can I do late checkout? I almost got my stuff out.
cheap hotels.
I think I just got kicked out of the hotels for being too autistic.
Sky's autism and the care she was supposed to be getting brought Minnesota's social services fraud crisis straight to her door.
We're here for the eviction.
It's June 2025. Sky lives in a very nice apartment in Minnetonka when sheriff's deputies arrive,
I'm scared.
armed
What?
with an eviction order for Jane or John Doe.
We go by the latest court order that says we have to evict you from the premises.
Sky lived here as part of a Medicaid program called Integrated Community Supports, or ICS. It's designed to help adults with disabilities live independently in their own apartment with one-to-one daily assistance.
Doesn't matter, at least that shows that I have the right to live here.
Sky subleased the apartment from her caregivers, a company called American Home Healthcare LLC, which in turn held the master lease with the apartment complex. Sky said she'd paid her rent to American Home, so didn't understand what was happening.
But I'm not Jane or John Doe. That's what's confusing.
Sky ordered to pack up what she could carry
Grab what you've just packed because we need to exit the apartment now.
and get out.
We need to go. Come on.
Okay.
We need to go.
Let's go.
How are you?
Go.
Okay, sorry.
Set out to the hallway.
And like that, a vulnerable young woman put on the street.
Buy house. Buy house. What's about
How could this have happened? Our investigation finds it's tied to the allegations of Medicaid fraud now rocking our state.
Hold on, my left side doesn't work very well.
Kane Pence was one of Sky's neighbors in the same ICS program. He first contacted KARE 11 in May 2025 after seeing our Recovery Inc. investigations expose fraud in Medicaid programs for those battling addiction and homelessness.
I call the whole thing Handicap Inc.
He said people with disabilities were being similarly exploited.
It's a complete and total scam.
Kane said American Home Healthcare was being paid a lot for doing very little.
$276 a day. That's every single day.
Every day. Kane's records show his Medicaid was charged, claiming he was getting service for nearly 8 hours.
You talk about an utter and complete fraud. I couldn't get people to carry out the trash.
Records show American Home billed on September 14th, 2024, when Kane has photographic evidence
You can look at the date. Here, it should be time-stamped.
proving he was on a retreat all weekend in Lake Elmo. They billed on August 25th and 26th, when photos prove he was in Iowa, out of state.
That's absolute proof. They billed the full amount. They just billed the full amount every single day. I wasn't even in the damn state. Nobody even checked on me. So they're claiming they're giving me service. If I was dead in Missouri, they wouldn't have even known.
I don't know.
For Sky,
I'm autistic, so I don't really.
it was the same story.
I don't know.
What Sky didn't know was American Home billed Medicaid $421 per day, claiming they always helped her for 12 hours.
Most days was like 2 hours, maybe. 1 or 2 hours.
Medicaid data shows since 2022, American Home was paid more than $2.2 million in public dollars. The Minnesota Department of Human Services didn't cut off funding until September 2025, the same day Kane went to the Capitol and publicly testified in a House fraud hearing.
$276 a day in my case, and they don't do jack. They do nothing.
The company is owned by this guy, Jama Muhammad. He never responded to KARE 11's interview requests, so we went looking for him.
This house is apparently the headquarters for American Home Healthcare.
The house has an indoor basketball court and is located in a high-end Maple Grove subdivision. We left a message directly on the Ring Cam.
We have some questions about allegations of fraud and kickbacks.
Under federal and state law, kickbacks in Medicaid programs are illegal. This state bulletin specifically says an example of a potential kickback in ICS programs includes covering or paying a portion of a recipient's rent. Clients say that's exactly what American Home was doing.
So they give you a rebate on the rent.
Kane spelled out the alleged kickback in that legislative fraud hearing.
And within 5 days, they make up for it by charging for all these services that they don't give.
Court records show American Home got evicted from the apartment complex for not paying rent as they came under investigation, even though tenants were continuing to pay their share directly to American Home.
Okay, let's go. Come on. Here we go. Push this.
That's how a confused Sky came to be escorted out of her home by sheriff's deputies as Jane Doe.
And made it look like I didn't pay.
On this day, Sky hanging out in the Hennepin County Law Library.
My brain likes to have a hard time with it, but
She's trying to figure out
we just do our best.
how to get the eviction off her record in hopes she'll eventually find a new place to call home.
They say that your home is in your heart.
AJ, it's just heartbreaking. I mean, I know already people have been reaching out. How can they help her?
Yeah, this story, Sky's story, it really struck a nerve, Julie. And, it's gone viral online with millions of views. Offers to help, they're pouring in from around the country. But I can tell you tonight, there are significant efforts now underway to find her the proper supportive housing that she needs.
Oh, keep us updated, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you, AJ.